Coming up next on Smart Love, they call him King.
I'm X5 riding with the leather and the stitching. Rock and roll like Sid Vicious. Young, black, and gifted. Like Kane when he ripped it. That's how deep that I'm in it. Been it, broke it down, reinvented. King to your queen, or I think I just... Back with Shy Boogie. We vets in the game, but we ballin' like rookies. Some other soulful. I got something new while you do what the old do. You monkey, but put holes right through you. Violated like bamboo, gladiator, and can't be killed by the Senator Caesar. Thus I'm fresh from the barber with a fresh Caesar, and I'm only getting better, and I'm only getting more. And I never back the 9, I always back the 4. I'm on the 13th floor if you really want it.
Welcome to a special edition of Smart Love. It's your girl LaDonna, aka Smart Love.
Yes.
And I know I say every episode is a special edition because that's how I feel about my guests. Like each person that takes the time out of their day to come and sit with me and to share their story with myself and with you all, like I feel like it's special. So thank you for coming, King.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the special guest here today is King. Now, is that your real first name? Is that what your mama named you?
King is my name.
Really?
King Castle's my stage name.
Okay.
And this is here he is. This is it.
This is it.
This is the guy right here.
This,
legend.
the guy.
Not a myth, the legend.
Ooh, get into it, get into it.
Yeah.
Okay, so King, what's your real last name?
Austin.
King Austin, okay.
Yeah, if you see me any acting credits, it always says King Austin.
King Austin, okay.
Off music, it's always King Castle. Anything outside of that is King Castle. If you know me personally, it's King.
King.
Or KD. For my close friends.
You know what? I'm LD, actually LDZ to my close friend.
Okay, KDZ.
Hey, KDZ, LDZ. What it do?
The winds keep coming. The winds just keep coming. Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited to be here because, again, like I told you earlier, I love what you're doing. Your energy is just incredible. And that's not based off of favoritism or just the interview she did with me, but everything that I've seen from this point, that since we've met, everything I've seen from that point has just been incredible. So I love it, and it's hard to believe that, you know, how you were telling me how you came about coming into this profession, that you have such a natural talent for it.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Cast me in your next movie, anyone.
Please.
Do you need a spokesmodel for whatever you're selling? I am her. No, I appreciate that. And mama named you King. There was something powerful in that. Did she ever tell you a story how and why she knew you were gonna be the king that you are?
Well, clearly, as you can see, my family from Jamaica.
Okay.
Through Cuba, what I mean? So I have a rich heritage, and I'm the oldest of all my cousins and my brothers. So my mother and my aunties used to always call me the young king, like my heritage. Yeah. So that's kind of how that came about. But I guess that's what they told me.
Okay.
So that's how that came about.
Okay, because you was the first born.
Yeah, he's the first king.
He's the first king of the family.
Yeah, so that's how that came about. But to be honest with you, I was kind of embarrassed about it at a younger age, and I feel stupid saying that now. No, I don't. It was a weird time. It wasn't like I grew up in the '90s. It wasn't
that wasn't widely as accepted as it would be now. In the area that we live in now.
Right.
So, you know, my mom, like, I moved a lot when I was a kid. I never went to the same school for more than 2 years.
Oh wow, my childhood was like that.
Why we
early on.
keep clicking on everything? What's
I
going
don't
on?
know.
with
I
you?
don't know, King. It's just my name be Queen.
We all clicked on like 10 things already when we got to the interview. Like, but yeah. So it was I moved around a lot, so I had to deal with a lot. I had to fight a lot. I went to Gladiator Academy at a young age. So at first I was I didn't like it. You know what I mean? So I didn't really know because it made me feel uncomfortable to have to say that in public because everybody made me feel some type of way.
Right.
So, but
And like, were your schools like predominantly not black?
no, I mean it was.
Boston. I don't know.
No, this is very mixed up there.
Okay.
Very mixed. I mean, I moved around a lot, so I lived in
Okay.
Philly, Boston,
Okay.
Massachusetts, Connecticut, Colorado, Atlanta. So
Because I feel like amongst our people, like we were like, oh, that's dope.
no, well, yeah,
No?
it was, but sometimes not. Even from
okay.
that. So it just is such a. You know what it is? What I learned. The why I got that response is because that makes other people uncomfortable.
Ooh.
When you say your name is King, people they don't know how to handle that. They don't know how to handle that. So I know that was them. I know now that was them projecting on me.
Okay.
It wasn't because I felt uncomfortable because of the feedback they gave me because they were uncomfortable. But I was interpreting it like it was something wrong with me because I was too young to know the difference. So yeah, but now you see me as like boom, King.
Right.
Take it how you want.
And but
Yeah.
what I love about that name is like, I feel like black men specifically, and anyone that knows me like knows my heart bleeds for black men. I love my brothers. I love y'all. But like, I feel like you all don't understand. Like, and this, you just gave a great example of this, but like, you all don't understand how powerful you are, like, just by being you. You know what I'm saying? Like, our gifts,
Yep.
our history, our character, like, just everything that makes you as a black man, like, it's very powerful.
Yep.
And that's why others try to tear you down and try to make you feel like you're less than.
Yeah.
So for a man to come in and like as king,
Yeah, that's a lot, right?
like what is above that, God?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like it would be intimidating, and I feel like that's probably something that black men deal with every day. Period.
Yeah, because
like,
even if you like my cousin's name is Atiba. I have another cousin named Yende. They have very Afrocentric names, and they're powerful names. My son's name is Nasur. I mean, Quran, Austin. I mean, that's very powerful. Like so our culture is powerful.
it is.
And if you speak our tongue and you don't know how to speak our tongue, it's intimidating because it's powerful. You can't even speak our tongue and say the names correctly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that, along with our presence, our confidence, our intelligence, yeah, that's very But now we can talk about this openly.
Right.
Now and have this discussion and have it be respected. But there was a period of time where obviously we both know that you couldn't. So if you grew up in that era, it's a little intimidating. You know what I mean? No matter how much reinforcement you have at home.
Yeah.
So but now we know. So yeah. Don't be mad don't be mad because
Because
it is what it is because I'm a king. So but yeah. So that was some of my experiences coming up. That's some of my experiences of what catapulted me to my successes that I've had. All of my successes I attribute to my failures. Absolutely.
So King, you and I met at the movie premiere for Him and Her.
Correct. Produced and written by Terry Miles.
Shout out to T Miles.
Shout out
That's
to
my
T. Miles.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in that movie, you played the best friend of like one of the characters.
Essence.
Of
Essence is the main
okay.
character. Yes. I play her best friend. When you get a chance to see the movie, she's having some issues, and I'm kind of there for her, and kind of her protector, I guess you could say, her protector. And so it requires me to be there for her how she needs me to be there.
Yeah, and so and that was a very intense scene. And I remember you telling me that it was like it was like, you know, one take.
Yeah, one take Jake.
One take Jake. And
Yeah.
was that like, that wasn't your first movie, maybe your second?
That
or
was
third?
actually I've done. So yeah, I guess this is like my third feature film.
Okay.
I did shout out to my man James Smalls. I did an episode of Barzilla. I did I worked with Phaedra Banks from Real Housewives. We did
Okay.
her pilot spinoff. We did that. Me and my man Black, shout out to Black.
Parks.
Yeah, Phaedra Parks.
Okay, I was about to say, wait,
Yeah.
Banks, was that her?
No.
Did she get married?
No, did I say Banks?
You did.
I did. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Phaedra
Phaedra
Parks.
Parks.
Okay.
I said Banks. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Phaedra Parks from Real Housewives. Yeah, we did a spin-off show. That was cool, and we did a whole performance. We did my record that was #1 at the time, and we did at the Museum Bar in Atlanta. It was a great experience. Then I also got to do like a family court drama.
Oh.
So yeah, that was actually the moment when I realized that, because to be honest with you, I never wanted to act,
Really?
because I always thought acting was corny to some degree. You know what I mean? Like I'm not that guy, and I'm not gonna do any. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That wasn't my lane. So I didn't really see how my skill set creatively as an actor would translate into acting.
Mm-hmm.
But this one particular interview that I did, or project that I did, it was a family court type of situation. I can't remember the name of the judge whose show it was.
Wait, are you telling me that those are scripted?
Oh my goodness!
Oh my gosh!
See,
You just
I danced around it the whole time.
You just broke the fourth wall.
So yeah, so I had to have an emotional character arc.
Okay.
It was about my son. I wasn't able to see him. Baby mama drama.
Oh my gosh, we know
Yeah,
that all too
we know
well.
that.
That probably was easy to play.
Yeah, it was. I miss me. No,
I mean, not from you personally, but like you've seen it played out.
Yeah. But long story short, I had to reach deep for that character.
Okay.
I had to be very emotional, and it went well. And when I watched the playback, I was like, wow, I liked it. And what I realized was, being a musician and a performing artist, is that it was another way for me to find somewhere to put that energy. And I never thought to put that energy there, or because I just didn't. I don't want to say I didn't respect it, because I love acting. I love movies.
Right.
I love Al Pacino. I like Ryan Gosling. I like actors. I like Charlize Theron. I love like actors that can be transformative. Like Colin Farrell just did The Penguin. That was like a huge transformative role. That's what I like. I like character actors, and I like transformative roles. And I had to realize that so that I could find a place for me within acting.
Okay.
So that was the moment that I realized, like, okay, there's something to this. Like I found a way to put that energy and that nucleus that's always burning inside of me to do into acting. So that was that moment. And then fast forward to now, I've had some more opportunities. I did By Any Means with Yahya Abdullah, Josh Lucas, Mark Wahlberg. Shout out Mark, shout out Andy, shout out Briz, shout out Rasta Phil. Who else was in there? Giancarlo Esposito.
Man, you just went straight to big time.
Yeah,
Like, look,
yeah.
I ain't doing little. I'm going big if I'm to do this thing.
Yeah, so my first day on set, I'm working with Giancarlo Esposito. I mean, he's the scene is us. I'm a voter. With the civil rights period piece, and we're doing the scene, and he's right here, and I'm right here, and he's reading his monologue, and I'm reading I'm doing my part, and we're just kind of like right here, and he's just kind of like focused on me because I'm in front of him, not because I was special in any way, but because we were directly in front of each other, so we kind of worked each other for the scene to find inspiration. And between takes, we would talk, and like, yeah, that was great. He was just, I mean, can you imagine just your first motion picture film, get to work with somebody of the caliber of Giancarlo Esposito, and he's talking to you and guiding you, and I'm listening. I'm like,
taking notes.
Listen. Actors will always say that oh, I got to work on set with this actor, and I was just listening to everything they say. And, it's like almost like a cliche. It is not a cliche. When you get to work around a powerful actor, like somebody like that, and he is talking, you are listening. If this is what you do, you are genuinely listening and soaking up everything. So, I that was my first experience with hearing that, with experiencing that, out of the many times that I've heard it.
Wow.
So yeah, it was great. That was a great opportunity. So yeah, we did that, and then we're doing Him and Her, and then I'm coming back for part 2 for Him and Her.
Part 2.
Yeah, part 2. Terry was like, we're gonna bring your character back, so that made me feel good because it was like, I want to take Jake.
Right.
You know what I mean? And not to diminish the role or the writing or anything that had to do with the character development, but that was what was required because of the time schedule. So
Yeah, Terry don't play. He's like, hey, get in, get it out.
Yeah, the rest is history.
Okay, so you actually started off as a musician. Like that, music is your passion.
Correct.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about like how's your music career gone, and do you feel like it's like a natural transition into something like acting? Because I kind of feel like sometimes music, I mean, I don't know your particular, persona, but a lot of times it's like a little bit of acting, like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're doing video shoots, you're doing commercial spots. I mean, we're doing radio advertisements. There's so many forms of presentation to where you have to give some type of character play, and it doesn't mean it's watered down and it's not authentic, but whatever's required for that particular piece.
Right.
So yeah, I think there is a natural progression between artistry and acting. Whatever level of artistry you're doing, whether you're poetry, whether you're hip hop music, whether you're a singer, whether you're an actual instrumentalist. You watch guitar players and they get the facial expressions of the drummers. Like there's a performance piece to that. Yeah, so I think there's a natural progression, and my journey for music started back in Boston, where I'm from. I started out, opening for bigger artists and this, that, and the third, but my journey really started to take flight when I came to Atlanta.
Okay.
I came to Atlanta and had an opportunity to work with the Face Records.
Okay.
Shout out Shanti Das, shout out Cohen Prather. I always give them a shout out because they gave me a huge opportunity.
Okay.
Huge opportunities to work with, all of Dungeon Family, Usher Raymond, TLC, all of these big name acts here in Atlanta in that era. And I had Too Short and Naughty by Nature.
Too Short, because I'm from the Bay.
You from the Bay, that's why I threw that in there, right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you about Short, man. I'm gonna tell you one of my favorite short stories. I got like 3, but this one right now is relevant. Is we were doing there was a club here in Atlanta called the Platinum House. That was on West Peachtree by Arts Center train station. And we had the club that night. Shout out to V. We had a partnership with him for that night. We threw a huge event with the magazine that I was with. And anyway, I had the kitchen lined up. I had my chefs in there getting it. Everybody was eating good. And Short comes into the back to the kitchen. And we had met probably 3 or 4 or 5 times. We had, I used to have your job.
Oh.
Doing interviews.
Okay.
So I skipped that
for the
part.
magazine.
Yeah,
okay.
for the magazine. It was the first CD-ROM digital magazine of its kind. So
not the CD-ROM magazine. That's when they first did digital.
There you go, right. So the labels loved it. So they gave us a lot of opportunity. But anyway, we had done some stuff with Short previously, and he came back into the kitchen. He pulled me to the side. He's like, "Look, man, this is what you guys doing right here. This is the future. Don't let nobody deter you." He gave me the big pep talk. And after Ben had kicked it at the Rim Shop and at Dangerous Studios, and here in Atlanta. That was a big moment for me because I am a huge fan of Short.
Okay.
I'm a huge Too Short fan.
Yeah.
I had moved out to the Midwest, back in the early '90s, and that was one of the first West Coast artists that I was introduced to.
Yeah, the Midwest is like heavily influenced by like the West, but like Kansas City, it's so many. I'd be like, oh, like y'all rocks with the West, not so much on the East.
Yeah.
But the Midwest.
Look, I'm gonna tell you,
rocks with the
my
West.
friends know I'm an East Coast dude, but I'm a West Coast rap dude. I'm
Hey.
a West Coast. I love all that stuff that was coming off of there in that era. So anyway, to meet Short was a big deal. To be able to get a compliment from him and the support that he gave me personally, let me come to different events, and just when I show up, it's all love. Like, that was huge for me, and it was a big battery on my back to keep going forward. So
Yes.
So yeah,
Shout out to Too Short.
yeah. Shout out to Short. So I came to Atlanta, and did, you know, that situation worked out. I ended up getting my first deal early 2000, and we went out to LA, to Vegas. My producer at the time hooked up with a label there, and shout out to Tom Parham. They signed me for a production deal, and that was like the pivotal moment for me in my career because of the access that I had.
Right.
Being in Vegas, being in LA, all of his relationships in the music industry for umpteen million years that he had been in the game up to that point. And that allowed me to come back to Atlanta and have my artistry correct, like really understanding the ins and outs of what it takes to be an artist. Because before that point, I would say I was just a rapper.
Okay.
Even though I had done events and done bigger shows and had traveled. But that changed, that was the experience that I needed to really make it all click.
Wow. That's amazing. Like, you have like an amazing story, because like, it's just like when people talk about like when you're in alignment with like your purpose, like doors just fly open. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are the chances that like, you know what I'm saying? You could, you know, interact with Too Short. You're gonna like get this great deal, you know, when you go to Vegas, like, cause there's people out here that still have not had, you know, those opportunities.
Yeah.
And so it's like everywhere you go, every lane, like being the movies, like you get
Listen.
your first movie, like, you know what I'm saying, you're in front of like, you know, actors and producers and directors that you look up to, and like you soaking up the game. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for that. And I want to share a story with everybody just to back up what you said, to let you know about when you're walking in your truth and you're walking in faith. So how that happened was, my producer at the time, we had been in Vegas for probably about 2 months at that time, and things were going good, but they could have been going better.
Okay.
So, you know,
yeah.
So he's like, look, we're all downtown. We were all on like Maryland Parkway and Vegas Boulevard. If you were from Vegas, you know what I'm talking about. There was a 7-Eleven and a Taco Bell right there back in the day, right down from that mall that used to be there on Maryland Parkway. And we were chilling, and my guy was like, look, I'm gonna go take a walk, because we were ready to leave and pack it up.
Okay.
He's like, you know, probably in about 2 or 3 weeks from that point. He's like, look, I'm gonna go. I don't know, man. I'm gonna go see. I'm gonna make this work. Basically, his attitude was, we're not leaving here empty-handed. So he left us. We bounced back to the crib. He just took off walking down Vegas Boulevard.
That walking, you know.
No, I promise you. He walking down
it's
Vegas.
about 5 miles in between each hotel. Like,
Right?
what was the destination?
So he's out there walking. My dude's walking. This is the story he told me afterwards.
Okay.
He's walking. He made a right. He made a left. He just started praying. He started putting his affirmations out, and then his self was like, make a left, make a right. All of a sudden, he ends up at this record label. He just ended up at the record label. I mean, I can't make this up. He ended up at the label. He goes in. He meets with the label head, who just happened to be in town. He's never in town. He's there that day. He goes in. He plays him his music that he did. He played some of our joints, and the dude was like, "Yo, I need an in-house hip hop producer, ASAP." So he's like,
wow,
that just like that. I BS you not. It happened just like that, and he ended up put him under contract as an in-house producer. They brought me in, put me on, and for project, signed me up for my project to do my album and get it done, produced, mastered, and everything. This guy paid for my producer at that time there was this guy, his name was Michael. He worked on the Las Vegas Strip as a sound engineer for like the Blue Man Group or something crazy like that. And the label owner knew him, so he'd pay him to come over after his big events, and he would teach my guy to get him up to date on all the new Pro Tools software. So I mean,
Training on the job training.
this is crazy. I mean, you gotta imagine, like, you know, we coming out here with an idea of what we want. We have an idea of what we want, but to manifest that and have it happen, that's a different situation.
Exactly.
So that just goes to your original point. Like, you know, when you're walking and, you know, me and my dude was real prayed up at that time. We was real focused. We knew that we had a huge opportunity in front of us and that we didn't want to squander it. And so we stayed real prayed up and real focused in the gym. We just was in the studio every day. We didn't play around. And that was because, you know, like I said, we knew the opportunity we had in front of us. So that's why those doors were opening for us. And then now that I've, you know, so much time has went on from then and I've lived life since then, I can more attest to that. That, you know, when you are, you know, we all have something that we can tap into. People just don't know they can tap into it. And the people who do know that they can tap into it, when they try to explain it to somebody else, they don't understand. So
that's dope.
Yeah, so, you know, but it's there. It doesn't make it any less real because you don't understand it.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So what is your background? So because like you're telling us a story from like the success side of it, right? So I know there had to be, you know, some things that didn't go right, or like, you know what I'm saying, that got you there, or even like put you in this alignment. So like, tell me a little bit about like where you started.
Yeah. So let me. I can give you a really good story about how I got into alignment.
Okay.
And some of the grimy parts that happened. So
okay, because it's all lessons for everybody.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
and,
yeah,
you know, I'm here to teach. I'm gonna reach one, teach one. So, you know, I'm not ashamed of any mistakes that I made because I'm here now. So I had this shout out Tommy Lockhart. It's a good friend of mine. He was one of the original people I met here in Atlanta that gave me opportunity. Got me next to like Atlanta Mix Factory, So Dev. Everybody he had in his repertoire, he was humble enough to, you know, give me a line and give me auditions and give me opportunities. So anyway, Tommy gets me set up with his producer guy Jerry at the time. I've been trying to get with him. He finally calls me like, hey, they're ready for you to come down and show them what you got. So, you know, I was new to Atlanta at that time. I figured out where it's at. I get down there, it's down on Peachtree Street by like Piedmont Hospital. I walked from like Art Center Station. I didn't know where I was going at that time. I was new to Atlanta. Anyway, I get there. I get to the studio. It's him and like all his team, his whole staff there. I'm thinking it's going to be the producer. You know, Jerry and maybe his assistant or something like that. It's like maybe 12 people in there. So I get there. They're having some other. They're doing some mixing. They get done. Okay, you're up. So it's like I go into the sound booth. It's like a huge glass separating us.
Okay.
And everybody's looking at me like I'm in a fishbowl.
Oh
right?
God, that's so nervous.
So yeah, I'm a little nervous, but you know, I know this is what I'm built for. So I get in there. I do what I do. They loved it. Loved it. I mean, like overwhelming response. So that was like that was the moment where I knew, okay, well, all the hard work I have been doing and what I thought I was.
Okay.
In that moment.
Confirmation.
Yeah. So anyway, that happened. I leave. I'm geeked. Like, yeah, okay, we're about to start recording. We're gonna put a demo together. We're gonna do like 4 or 5 songs. You know, I probably got 10 songs already to start from at that time that were valuable. I'm super excited. I just got this great job, whatever. So I go to work. This is like on a Saturday. I go to work on Monday, and I get there. My boss calls me in, and he says, "Hey, man, I got some paperwork for you to fill in the office, right?" So I'm like, "Okay, you know, cool." I've been asking about this paperwork, so I go in the office to talk to him about the paperwork. I go through the door, and we get in there. We go through the double doors, and the federal marshals is there.
What?
So the federal marshals is there. They're like, "Are you da-da-da-da?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, "Hey, you know, we're taking you into custody."
Oh my gosh.
So, I mean, this is crazy, right? Everything's clicking. I got the
You
crib.
getting put on. Like, you
Yeah,
just
I'm getting
got
put on. I just got the crib. My money's good.
Oh.
Everything is gravy. I'm in Atlanta. It was just like the land of milk and honey, you know, at that moment. And, man, they expedited me. They just flew me all around the country. Finally got me back to my home state to face my situation.
And your home state is
Boston.
Boston. Okay.
Yeah. So I was like devastated because I thought that was my opportunity.
Right.
I thought that was it. Like that was that was the end of my situation, for lack of a better term. So
Okay.
end all be all.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to say. That was end all be all. So
Okay. So it was like some decisions and bad choices that you made prior to that kind of caught up to you at the time where you were like, I'm finally about to do what I want to do. Wow.
And I was just in the wrong place, wrong time with some wrong people, you know what I mean? And I mean, it all worked out, you know what I mean? I had to, do a little probation or whatever.
Right.
I couldn't leave the state, so that kind of messed me up. But anyway, the point of why I brought that up is to what you just said. You think that in that moment, that is the end all be all. You're working so hard, you're trying to achieve your goal, you got a vision, then something like that comes, you're like, yes, this is what I was working for.
Right.
But that's not how it works. That's not how evolving works. That's not how you evolve spiritually or mentally. You got to have more. You need more of that.
Yeah.
You need more of that so you can define your character and know what you're built for, what you can handle, what you can't handle. And that was a huge, looking back at that moment now, that was a huge moment in my life for me to define what type of character I had. Because I could have just folded and been mad and said, oh, this is da-da-da. But instead, I took it, I wrote some great songs while I was down, when they held me down. I got back and, came back to Atlanta and everything just clicked the way it was supposed to. So, but yeah, so. Situation. You're more than one win. You're more than one loss. You have to realize that you have a whole life to live. You got so many experiences that are going to define who you are and what type of character you have and what type of contributor you are into whatever field you are. And you have to embrace it. Embrace the good and the bad because it's a completion. They're both equal.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Some of my experiences coming up. That's some of my experiences of what catapulted me to my successes that I've had. All of my successes I attribute to my failures. Absolutely.
That's powerful in itself, yeah. Yeah,
and you have to. You have to. Doesn't mean that you're weak or you're a failure, but you have to make those mistakes to become great. Anybody that you read, any person that you admire and has an autobiography out or has some type of documentary out, look at it and see, they'll tell you their greatest moments are in their failures because that's where you define who you are. In that moment to where everybody's counting you out or you're counting yourself out, that's that moment to where you find out who you are, and if you can tap into that other thing, the other thing on the inside, not on the outside, not the visual on the outside, not what's on the inside that nobody know about but you in the mirror. That's that moment where you find out. So yeah, absolutely, I attribute all of my successes to my failures.
I love that. So you mentioned that you had brothers, so you weren't the only child. So you had how many siblings?
I got 2 brothers and a sister.
Okay. And were you raised like with your mom and your dad? Was your dad in your life?
No, my dad. So yeah, my dad was estranged from me for a long time.
Okay.
He fell victim to drugs.
Okay.
And some other things. And good guy though. Good guy. Like, just it's rough out here, man. He fell into some financial opportunities, and that brings, what that breeds. Very smart man, very intelligent. Was in the Marine Corps. I could talk about him now, but for a long time, you asked about my dad, I'll give you like an ice grill. Like it was like I wore it on my sleeve like that. So very intelligent man, very traveled the world. Set a lot of good examples, but had his shortcomings.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there were shortcomings that affected his relationship with his children. But nobody's perfect.
Right.
But I was raised with my mother because of that. Traveled around with her a lot. My mom was, I love my mom. She was incredible lady. She passed a few years ago from dementia.
I'm sorry.
So I was
lost my father to
yeah, I was there for that. So that's not pretty at all.
Right.
Yeah. So, but I love my mom. I've had enough time to kind of deal with that emotion. Anybody out there who's lost somebody like that or has been with that, exactly what I'm talking about. To see somebody you love go from from here to there, So, but I know who my mother was, and she was like the greatest person in the world. People say that, I don't mean to sound cliche, but my mother really was. She was just unselfish, giving woman who just was so supportive to anybody who needed support at that time, and just deserves, and whatever blessings came her way, she deserved all of them. Yeah. So shout out my mom, Barbara Jean Austin. Love you.
Shout out to the queen, to
Yeah,
the queen, to
yeah.
the queen. So growing up with, such a strong, mother figure who, like, she probably had to compensate for, the areas where your father wasn't there. So she said there were at times she had to play both roles, right? Especially like raising boys. That's that's hard. Would you say that like women today who, especially like single mothers, I mean, it's becoming like a, epidemic, kind of have it harder or easier when it comes to like being able to, stand in that place as being like the dominant parent? And are we succeeding or failing our kids?
Okay, so
I know I just went deep on you real quick. It just came up to me right now.
I like it. I don't think that, I don't know how much of our audience are gonna like the answer that I'm gonna give, but I'm gonna give the truth because it's what I deal with.
It's just your perspective. It's not no right or wrong.
Yeah, it's my perspective, but there's fact and there's non-fact.
Okay.
And I deal with facts, so I'm just gonna give some cold hard facts.
Okay.
Cold hard facts.
Give it to us.
So I think that we're in a worse position when it comes to that, because you have a compound situation where you have child after child after child having baby after baby after baby. So you can't really get a foothold. You can't. Your mom can't have you at 18, and then your mom can't have you at 20, and then you have a baby when you're 17, and now all y'all are, So we have a huge downward spiral with that when it comes to teen pregnancy. And I think that's where, amongst some other influences, but the main thing is that you can't raise a child, you can't raise a man if you're still a child. And if you can't, and normally in probably in our era, like if your mother wasn't there, the grandmother was there. But if the grandmother's young, the mother's young, and the daughter's young, like who's the adult in the situation?
Who's the adult in the situation? Oh my God.
Yeah, so I think that we're feeling more with that now, because, we live in a super hypersexual, time where, just culture, everything is with the music and movies, and it's just super hypersexual, and, everybody want to, do what they do, and, that's your choice, but they come with consequences, so the consequences are these children that are coming up, with a mother who, she's not old enough to be a mother, she still want to be a teenager. Yeah. Then you got the grandmother who, not old enough to be a grandmother because she's trying to live her adolescence that she missed because she had a child young. So you got this vortex it's intense.
That's crazy. And like me and my friends were just talking about this, like we grew up with, like, the time where you could spend a whole summer with your grandma.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Grandma, sometimes your grandma raised you.
Yeah.
And, the baby boomers, they were kind of still outside when it was time to be the at-home grandmas and, helping to raise the kids. So, like, it's a generation of, like, trying to figure it out.
I mean, it's multiple generations, because you got to think, like, the whole, I see, I mean, this is me talking, but, I feel like there's a direct correlation between the deterioration of quality of music to the deterioration of quality of life.
You better speak on that.
So, music is supposed to inspire. Music is supposed to, like, uplift. We're people of the drum. Any ethnic culture is a slave to that rhythm. We love the drum. That's always been a sounding board for us. You take away that drum, you take away that part, that inspiration, and fill it with electronic frequencies of whatever frequency you want. That's what you're gonna get. Everybody knows, like, there's certain megahertz of sound that will make you act a certain way. And if so I don't know how many people are up on that, but if you look up and look up sound frequencies and how music is recorded and how certain sound frequencies affect your consciousness and your vibration and your feelings, we just put ourselves in a hole. We put ourselves in a hole, and I love the diversity of the music that's out there. I'm not saying that music, it's got to evolve, it's got to change, and sometimes that change could be painful. When hip hop music started, it was like, oh man, forget that Jungle Money music. You know what I mean? Remember that? It's like, you looking at all these commercials now, and you see urban culture. It wasn't like that. They was like, nah, hell no. So, but at that time, the music was inspiring. It was uplifting. It was a cultural thing.
Yeah.
So I think that they cut our legs out from underneath for the check. And I'm just right.
Right.
So that affect, so that's the correlation I see between that when you ask me about our young men coming up. These are the challenges that they have to deal with. So the grandmother was there. But if the grandmother's young, the mother's young, and the daughter's young, like who's the adult in the situation?
Who's the adult in the situation? Oh my God.
Yeah. So I think that we're feeling more with that now because we live in a super hypersexual time where just culture, everything is with the music and movies, and it's just super hypersexual, and everybody want to do what they do, and that's your choice, but they come with consequences, so the consequences are these children that are coming up, with a mother who, she's not old enough to be a mother, she still want to be a teenager. Yeah. Then you got the grandmother who, not old enough to be a grandmother because she's trying to live her adolescence that she missed because she had a child young. So you got this vortex that's just, it's intense.
That's crazy. And like me and my friends were just talking about this, like we grew up with the time where you would spend a whole summer with your grandma. You know what I'm saying? And grandma, sometimes your grandma raised you. And the baby boomers, they were kind of still outside when it was time to be the at-home grandmas, and helping to raise the kids. So it's a generation of trying to figure it out.
I mean, it's multiple generations because you got to think the whole. I see. I mean, this is me talking, but I feel like there's a direct correlation between the deterioration of quality of music to the deterioration of quality of life.
You better speak on that.
So, music is supposed to inspire. Music is supposed to uplift. We're people of the drum. Any ethnic culture is a slave to that rhythm. We love the drum. That's always been a sounding board for us. You take away that drum, you take away that part, that inspiration, and fill it with electronic frequencies of whatever frequency you want. That's what you're gonna get. Everybody knows, there's certain megahertz of sound that will make you act a certain way. And if so I don't know how many people are up on that, but if you look up and look up sound frequencies and how music is recorded and how certain sound frequencies affect your consciousness and your vibration and your feelings, we just put ourselves in a hole. We put ourselves in a hole, and I love the diversity of the music that's out there. I'm not saying that music, it's got to evolve, it's got to change, and sometimes that change could be painful. When hip hop music started, it was like, oh man, forget that Jungle Money music. You know what I mean? Remember that? It's like, you looking at all these commercials now, and you see urban culture. It wasn't like that. They was like, nah, hell no. So, but at that time, the music was inspiring. It was uplifting. It was a cultural thing. Yeah. So I think that they cut our legs out from underneath for the check. And I'm just Yeah, right.
Right.
So, you know, that affect, so that's the correlation I see between that when you ask me about our young men coming up. These are the challenges that they have to deal with. So we started our mentorship program.
Yes, let's talk about.
Yeah, the High Frequency Learning Initiative. It's me and my brother Rasta Phil, Colleen, Eileen, and Melanie Feliciano. And then my partners at Power Circle, Jay and Chella. Our program is for 10 to 16-year-olds.
Okay.
We just recently.
That's a pivotal age.
It is, and that's why we chose that particular age group, because there's other mentorship programs that are here in Atlanta and across the country, and it's not like if you look at, so for example, for my business plan, in our executive summary, it says, or when we do our comparative analysis, we went a different route to let people know, like, we don't look at each other's competition. We're just different links in the chain.
Okay.
So we have some mentorship programs that deal with community-based events, that deal with smaller age group. We have some that are more of a collegiate level that get teenagers prepped or adolescents prepped for that phase of their life. Mm-hmm. So we kind of fit in the middle, because we come in where you go through elementary school, you're just getting acclimated with school. Mm-hmm. You just kind of figure out who you are. You have friends. There's not too many guidelines on having friends and being popular. Then you get into 5th, 6th, 7th grade, and all of that changes.
Yeah.
Now you have a whole another set of problems. So that is a crucial phase where you need guidance to know that you're okay.
Yeah.
And that you don't have to shift into something that you don't want to be just because it's popular and because that dominates the situation in your environment.
Yeah.
So we chose that. We need them to be stable from that 5th grade to 10th grade time and keep their wits about themselves so they can transform into the next level.
Yes.
So we just partnered with the Boys and Girls Club in Trenton. I actually just flew back yesterday from New York, Trenton, and Philly. We're partnering with the Boys and Girls Club in Trenton, New Jersey. Shout out to Reggie Coleman, the CEO of the Boys and Girls Club. Shout out to Christina Jones, the COO of the Boys and Girls Club in Trenton. Thank you for this opportunity. We'll be starting our program with them in February. Actually, we're gonna have like a demo for the kids.
Okay.
So some of the learning tools that we use are VR meta headsets.
Okay. Oh, I know they love that.
Yeah.
These kids love technology.
They do. We're just giving them another perspective on it than just playing video games all day. Mm-hmm. We also, all of our curriculums we have an AI creator. So all of our curriculums are AI based, and where the learning tools are AI technology. So we give them an opportunity to use our 3D printers. On our Rosterville Experience curriculum, they get to create music in a live studio virtually, which is crazy. They get opportunities to, everything that falls under the guise of umbrella of music, studio production, video production, commercials, etc. So all of that training is done. We also work with at-risk youth. We use vocational training software, so they can learn how to paint, how to learn how to electrician, plumber, all virtually, no tools needed. I mean, this technology is incredible. So we're getting
that's something that they to learn a trade.
Yeah.
That early,
right, yeah.
What?
And it's we're decreasing the rate of youth returning back into the system because they don't have the proper training.
Yeah.
A lot of people get out. Our youth, they get out. They got a record now.
Mm-hmm.
There may even been a big charge. It could have been some police harassment that turned into something else. They arrest you and you get arrested for one thing, but you got 10 other charges when you get to court. Mm. So there's a lot of kids that are catching a bad rap because of what's going on in our country with the police department, and that's just a cold hard fact. And there's kids out there that deserve what they got because they did what they did. Mm-hmm. Either way, the system is supposed to be about transforming them from that phase to being a productive citizen. So they're failing. Clearly they're failing.
Right.
So mentorship programs like the High Frequency Learning Initiative and other ones across the country, and people who realize that we need to fill this gap, especially with them pulling back resources, funding, granting, because of your guy. We need to fill those voids. And,
Yeah.
that's what we're here for.
I love that. I love that. And like you just mentioned like that, funding is being pulled back, but like, and a friend of mine kind of explained this to me, like there at one time there was a lot of government funding for these types of programs, because there's, at the end of the day, like society as a whole benefits from, reforming these, these
at-risk youth.
At-risk, exactly.
Yeah.
So, have you found it hard to find funding? Have you had to go now into private funding because of our current administration, or are there still programs out there that help with things like this?
There are still programs out there. So when I started my company, the Power Circle, along with my partners John Keller Kemp and Jay Coleman, grant writing was part of that, and it's more geared. If you really want to be successful with grant writing, you have to have something that is tangible where you can see results. They want to see direct impact. They want to see direct correlation between your product or your service affecting the medium that you're saying that it affects, and they want to see the impact.
Okay.
So
successful people that have gone through the program and now they're doing X, Y, and Z.
Correct. So if you can translate that into your grant writing proposal, then there's grants out there. But to answer the other half of your question, yes, they are pulling back the funding. Your boy in office had made that clear. He made that clear. I mean, it's not even really a question anymore. But that's okay, because we don't need that. That's the problem, is that we're always looking for somebody to come save us, to help us,
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't love each other enough to save ourselves. So we're in a time now where we can take control of the narrative.
We can.
We can take control of the narrative right now. We can take control of our education of our children, their surrounding, the opportunities they have. I mean, how many ethnic millionaires? I don't want to say just black, because I hate to make it a black and white thing all the time. That's how kind of how it always goes. But there's hundreds of ethnic millionaires and billionaires out here who all are on the same boat we have, because we have melanin on our skin, and we're all in the same boat as far as this other side is concerned. So we have an opportunity to rewrite history right now and take control of what we've tried to do in the past and they wouldn't let us do. We have an opportunity to do right now because of our financial stance. So if we can just pivot our mentality out of the crab in the barrel, out of the the flashy thing and all that distraction, we can make some real change right now. And our children deserve that real change.
They do, yeah. I love it. Okay, so this has been great. Like you dropped so many nuggets, this is why I say he's a special guest. This is a special edition. Y'all get so much game. Oh my gosh. Okay. But it wouldn't be smart love if we don't touch a little bit on the love.
Okay. This is the part I've been waiting for.
Yes. So for me, remember I mentioned earlier that my heart bleeds for the black man. Okay. I really, really have a problem with how broken the black family as a whole is, period. Okay. There's this, the PSYOP is happening, the psychological, warfare, keeping the black man and the black woman at odds, battling each other. It looks like we don't love each other, we don't want each other, we don't need each other, and that could be the furthest thing from the truth.
Yeah.
But it's like we don't know how to get back together. We know how to say, this is what you did wrong.
Yeah.
This is what you're doing wrong. This is why we do this, and this is why. But there's not enough looking within.
Yeah.
So if you Well, first of all, let me just ask you just like your opinion on the state of the Black family today.
I mean, and this is gonna seem kind of contradict what I just said, but I think the Black family is in a good place.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of individuals out here that understand the assignment, and, they're protecting and circling the wagons in a home environment. So I think that we're in a good place with that, because there's a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Younger people that are coming up right now.
Okay.
Who are not buying into that narrative.
I love to hear that.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I see them, like making it like proud to say, I'm in a relationship. Proud to say that, I have a family nucleus, and proud to say that I put my family first. So yeah, I think that that shift is definitely happening simultaneously with the negative part. But again, back to my original point, the negative and the positive, they complete the whole. So we need to have that. You got to have that negative narrative to make you want to be the positive narrative. So I just meet a lot of, I'm a conversationalist. I'm a personable person. So I meet people, that have some type of conversation. We're gonna have a good conversation, like we're doing right here. So, yeah, I find that a lot of people that understand the assignment, they're committed.
Okay.
They just need the room to breathe, to be able to make that manifest into what it needs to be. And so when I say breathe, that means not having the foot on your neck financially or educationally. You know what I mean? Those other things make it harder to fulfill that. But their heart is there. And I think that's really the main point, is that the consciousness in the heart of our people are in a good place right now. I really feel like we're in a good place right now.
Okay.
Even with all of the shootings and the murders and everything, and these dudes just don't want to get off that fake mentality. But I feel like the conscious vibe that is out there right now is legit, and it's a real wave. We just need to get, this dude and all his narratives and all the other stuff that's going on, and the economic chokehold that they've had it on us for so long. If we can get rid of that, then you can focus on family. You can focus on being the best you. So yeah, within that, I feel like it's a success story.
Okay. Yeah. So what do you think is driving that success? Is it like the men taking, the leadership roles? Is it,
I think it's the women.
Submissive?
I think it's the women being more educated. If I had to give a real answer, I think it's the women coming up are more educated and are not afraid to do some of the things that men are afraid to do. Women are not afraid to say, I'm going to put it on the line for my education. Dudes got a reputation to protect. They got an image to protect.
Okay.
So they keep themselves from being successful. They're hurting themselves, not only are you being minimized, but you're minimizing yourself because you want to stay into this image you think that's going to somehow project you to success. Women don't have that problem. Now, outside of the gold digger chicks, that's a different thing. But
right.
I think overall, as within our culture, I feel like the women are getting it. They see the opportunities, they're taking them. They're not afraid to take the mask off and be themselves. And men have a little bit, there's a little bit more of a roadblock with that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I love this perspective.
Yeah.
So, are you single, married? What?
Married.
Okay. How long you been married?
15.
Oh, okay. So we got success stories over
success
here.
Story.
Okay.
Success story.
So, what has been like the biggest lesson that you've learned about yourself through marriage?
I'm always right. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
He's always right.
Right. That's a good question. Okay. The biggest thing that I've learned is that you can't make people be what you think they're supposed to be. You have to let people unfold into who they are. All you can do is really give the best of you. Give the best of you to inspire them to give the best of themselves and meet in the middle. Because nobody's perfect. You can expect somebody to, you have a standard you may think that you want a person to be to, and they have a standard of what they think you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
So, you know, your shit doesn't stink. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
yeah. So, I think that's the biggest lesson, is understanding that if somebody loves you and you love somebody, you eventually will evolve into where you need to be out of that love for that person. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah, you're gonna evolve to where you need to be because you love that person. So yeah, that's all the relationship advice I got. You might want to ask her for the rest. That's all I got. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is one thing I like to do with every show, is like I like to have you give us, and you've dropped a lot of nuggets, so we just like bringing it all home.
Okay.
Give us one word of advice, mantra, something to live by
Okay.
for love, success, and wealth. So let's start with love.
Love would be. Let's go back to love.
Okay, let's start with success.
Yeah, what's success? Either you think you can, or you think you can't. Either way, you're right.
I like that. Okay.
Okay.
Wealth.
Wealth. If you're not acquiring wealth for your freedom and for your time and for your family and for peace of mind, then you're running the wrong race. If you're chasing money because you want a Lambo, because you want the girl with the BBL, if you're doing all that, bro, you never win, because you know why? Your money's always going out the door. Okay. Wealthy people are wealthy because they don't spend their money, they leverage it.
I love that. Man, you just dropped it some game. Okay. And now back to love. Now, and this can also be like self-love, self-mastery. Like,
Yeah.
this is, anything.
So I guess I'd have to go with self-mastery. I
Okay.
think that's where I'm going to go with it. So
Okay.
you have to understand that your mistakes don't define you. Okay, we're only human. You don't have a playbook. The goal. This is what I tell my son. The goal. One of the goals in life is to figure out what I didn't figure out at an earlier age. That's how you become successful. Figure out as much as you can, as quick as you can, so that way you're able to act and start putting into action your plan. So by the time you get to where you want to be, you're already ready to go. So yeah, that's my advice on that.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so what's next for King Austin Castle?
King Castle, yeah.
KDZ.
There you go. KDZ, I like that. KDZ and
LDZ.
LDZ. So yeah, I'm rocking this acting thing. I've got a huge network in Canada with my man Rostafil. He's up there with Eileen. They're doing all the film festivals. They're like, look, we just come on up and do some auditions. So I got a lot of auditions in front of me.
Good.
So I'm excited about that. Yeah, I'm super excited. Like I said, once I open that door of opportunity, it hasn't stopped. It hasn't stopped. So yeah, we're gonna do that. This mentorship program, we're about to go national with the Boys and Girls Club. We've got stuff here in Atlanta. Shout out to Chella and Jay. They just did Atlanta Hip Hop Day, which was their biggest. The 16th annual was one of the biggest ones that they've had yet.
Oh wow!
So next year is going to be insane. Shout out to my guy Hitman, the Hitmaker. He's an artist here in Atlanta that I work with. His single Heart Cold out now. B&B the label. This dude is incredible. His team is incredible. My team is incredible. This mentorship program we're doing is incredible. So that's my immediate future. There's some music in there too. We'll see how they go. I'm not pressed, but I'm excited. I love performing. I love being on stage. I love pleasing the crowd, and I love recording. So I'm excited to keep to get back into that lane. But I've got a business cap on now, so it's much harder to divide my time up into the creative space sometimes.
Okay.
But you know, I want to get there. I want to get there. Yeah.
All right. So where can we follow you? Follow all these great things, the Power Circle, like just everything that you're doing.
Absolutely.
Music, everything.
Absolutely. So you can go to thepowercircle.com. That's our website for, you know, you can check our curriculums for our mentorship program. You can see our marketing, half of the company, what we do with that, and then see what we do on the mentorship program, on mentorship side. So all of that is there for you. You can go to my Instagram. I got so many links. I have to. My brain is. I'm like, which one do I want to give? But yeah, you can go to my Instagram, King_Castle. All of my links are in my bio, and you can also go to my High Frequency Learning Initiative page, which is the power under the Power Circle IG, which is Power Circle_ATL. YouTube, we're 700 frequencies on YouTube. Check that out. And everything you need from there, my IMDb, all of my other stuff is in there. You can link to it for
Awesome. Thank you so much, King. This was dope. Like, I especially love it when I learn something. And yeah, you dropped some nuggets. So I appreciate that.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Again, I love what you're doing with your energy, and it feels good. And I'm a vibe person, so
I appreciate it.
yeah. So you know, we immediately vibed. You guys should have seen her on the red carpet. She was killing it.
My first red carpet.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, look, because like T Miles and I are friends, so I was like, I want to cover the next red carpet. And like, yeah, he gave me that opportunity. So shout out to T Miles. And I'm glad that, you know, we were able to, you know, connect there, and, you know, and you was on me. You was like, look, when am I coming on the show? I was like, I need to get him on the show.
Because she did such a good job. I was like, you know what, I need to be a part of this. I need to be a part of this. Her presence on the red carpet was, I mean,
you would have thought I was in a movie, but I wasn't.
Goodness. She had the bodies, the sequence bodysuit, and I was like, oh my god, who? And she would do.
Cause T was like, we wearing all black. I was like, okay, all black. I was like, I'm gonna come through
She
black.
killed it. But you know, just like watching her on the red carpet before I even got a chance to get over there to do my part, just watching her, she was just so confident, professional, and I love that. So I look for that. You know, her vibration was super high, and here we are. So I'm thankful to be here. I know that your audience loves you for the same reasons that I love you for. So I know that this will be successful, just like everything else that you do.
Thank you, I appreciate it. And now when 40 Dates and 30 Nights comes out, I'm gonna make sure we get you in the movie.
Okay, man, let's do it.
Yeah, that's the whole.
Because I'm an actor.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He's an actor now.
I'm an actor now and everything.
I gotta make sure I can pay him. I don't know what it costs now.
Now, you know what? Just keep, next time I come,
Hey, come on.
shameless plug. You like that?
Right, come on with the smart love tequila.
Smart love tequila. Yeah, but absolutely. I'm there for you.
Awesome. And yeah, please invite me to your next red carpet, because it's coming. What? Actually, him and her too, right?
Yeah, him and her too. Actually, you know what? I got a call from. So we did. So I'm sorry. Let me go back. So one of my good friends, Christopher Martin, he's in. I don't know, where is he at? St. Croix. I forgot where he's at. St. Martin.
Oh.
Somewhere. He's in a stage play.
Oh.
So they sent him over there to do the stage play there, and he's jet skiing it up. But he went and went to the local primary school and got to talk to the kids about acting.
Oh wow!
And it was incredible. Look, I know this, my brother, and I know he was like, it was hitting him right here.
Yeah.
Talking to those kids, and they was loving him, jumping on him, and so Chris, good friend of mine, good friend of mine, good friend of mine, and he has always supported my music. I don't know if you saw in the email kit I sent you. There was a song called 21 and Up. That was a huge record for us, and Chris is one of his favorite records.
Okay.
So he, on his radio show, he hosted the Georgia Music Awards. It was a huge event, and he came out to my song and did like a whole intro.
That's support right there.
That's support. So just to shout out Chris, love you, brother. He's out there doing that. He was in Todd Tucker's Candy Burris' husband. His new movie, Don't Bring Your Man to Atlanta.
Oh.
So we went to the premiere.
Okay.
And it was incredible. Shout out Todd, shout out Candy, shout out Kenyatta, the AD, shout out Summer, my barber, Summer J. I saw her there, that was incredible. So they put my information into their call pool.
Okay.
Yeah. So they hit me up to come and do another audition for something.
Let's go. Come on.
So
Like this about to be, that's your new thing right there. You're an actor, then you're a musician.
Crazy. So we'll see. Yeah. So that's what's coming up, and like I said, just keep abreast of what the kid is doing on my links that I previously mentioned. And it's gonna be a big year. It's been a big year. So.
It's giving King energy.
Yeah, it really is.
I don't know what y'all was thinking, what y'all expected from the name King, but he's living up to it.
Yeah.
Like, it's giving King.
Yeah. So
Love it.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Queen.
All right,
Nice.
it's all love.
All right.
And that was Smart Love. Get you some. Welcome, my smart lovers and friends, to this community built just for you. My name is Madonna. I am the founder of Smart Love, Inc. This is for married, single, divorced, anyone that wants to create happy, healthy, loving, enriching relationships. Make sure you share with a friend or two or three. Let's continue to grow together.